Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, folks. Michael Zuber, one rental at a time, back with his Monday guest, Mr. Greg Dickerson. How you doing, sir?
Doing great, Michael. Good to see you.
Hey, nice to see you as well. So one thing I know about your story, right? Your story made it to my second book, 15 Conversation with Millionaires, Real Estate Millionaires. Your truck and a toolbox story hit me hard. I still go back and watch that probably once every 6 to 9 months, our very first video together, is that you are an entrepreneur. And what that means to me is you are willing to identify a problem. You were willing to risk time, energy, and dollars to go after it. And then if it worked out, there was just desserts. But what is clear to me is you were paid last. Lots of other people were paid first. You were paid and rewarded last. And where I'm going with this is there is a growing noise echo chamber out there that billionaires shouldn't exist. Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos and all of these folks. And when I step back and I take your story, your experience, your awesomeness, look at what they've done. They've all tackled amazing problems. They took a bunch of risk capital. I mean, Elon Musk was 48 hours away from going bankrupt when Tesla almost didn't make payroll. And they've tackled big problems. So I'm not sure I agree with this whole billionaires shouldn't exist idea, but I wanted to ask you.
Yeah. Bezos has been through it. He, back in the .com, bust. I mean, the company just got torn down, and people never thought he would make it with his, AWS business and all of that kind of stuff. And he's overcome a lot of challenges. But I think so I can agree on some points, but at the end of the day, yeah, if you're willing to risk everything you have, get out, do the work, create opportunities for other people. I mean, there should be no limit to the upside that you can generate. Now, where I can, kind of agree with what people are talking about is if you're using the public's funds,
yes,
and you're taking money from investors, and you're now a CEO of a public company that you do not own, and you're not taking any more risk, you're risking investor capital and company capital, then yeah, I can see where people get a little upset because
for sure,
you have, people that, get billions to hundreds of billions or whatever, and the other people along the way aren't sharing to that degree.
Yeah.
So I can sort of understand, that to that level, because, you're taking public money and you're being allowed to abuse that, by, the things that they do to increase wealth from that standpoint. But, if you're a private company and you started it and you're taking the risk and it's your money on the line, and, if it goes down, you lose everything. Well, then there should be no limits on what you can do, or achieve to accumulate that. And it's funny. I mean, I've got a modest level of success in the business world compared to those things, but the upside is unlimited. If you find a big problem to solve, like Amazon did, I mean, you can get on your phone and punch a button and have something at your house that day or the next day or whatever, almost anything you want. That's a big problem that, obviously what we recently went through with the pandemic that company solved. So
yeah, for sure.
Should there be limits to what Jeff Bezos, earned in that regard? Like I said, if he owned it and he risked all his capital and he did everything to, get there, that's one thing. But, when you start taking other people's money and you're not sharing that with the people around you that built it, I can see an argument there, for that. But at the end of the day, no, you don't want to limit opportunity, because then you limit innovation.
Yeah, I think there's a couple of things there I want to hit. So first and foremost, I totally agree with you. You and I experienced the Great Recession, which really was a financial bubble. There were people that clearly, where it was CDOs and all of these other toxic debt on debt and, these layers of just nonsense that blew it up so big that the only outcome was they had to get bailed out. And I think only one person went to jail, if I remember the story right. And that's not okay. That hopefully never happens again.
Yeah, and you have the Bernie Madoffs, that are taking people's money, and he was a billionaire, and living a lifestyle, and illegally abusing that. But there's legal ways to abuse that as well. And that's kind of what I'm talking about.
Me too. Yeah, me too. Absolutely. Right. When you're just leveraging public capital to the benefit, and basically you don't have a downside, right? Kind of heads you win, tails you don't lose. Totally agree with you. But on the bigger front, I think, at least my opinion is if you're going to go after and solve huge problems, right? Again, I'm not a huge Elon Musk fan at all, right? I don't own Tesla stock. I just never would. I'm not a big Musk fan, but I have to give him credit, right? What did he do? He went out and basically made EVs, electric vehicles, cool. Right before Tesla, we had these ugly boxes and just, these ugly cars. He made them cool. I don't think EVs are where they are today without his pushing leaps and bounds. SpaceX, the idea that you could use a rocket over and over again is crazy, right? He proved that. Now he's going to go to Mars and all these other things. He's tackling amazingly huge problems. And oh, by the way, employing hundreds of thousands of people. I think that you're right. I don't know why you would put a cap on that.
Yeah. And he started what with PayPal, solving a problem there.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
That. And then, so, I mean, obviously he's an entrepreneur, he's an innovator, he's a creator. He didn't start Tesla. No. He bought that, but he made it what it is, and, grew that and scaled it. But the other argument to what I'm talking about too, is a lot of his wealth is the, artificial inflation of the markets over the last 18 months. And, those numbers are out the door now. We're seeing a repricing and rebalancing of that. So a lot of that's going to go away. Now, Starlink, that's another, great innovation. So I'm not, I don't know Elon Musk, so to be a fan or not, but what I'm a fan of is, he's an entrepreneur. He gets after it. He solves problems. He makes things happen. He gets things done. That's what entrepreneurs do. Yeah. So, when you're doing that and creating that, like I said, you don't want to limit opportunity, because then you limit innovation.
Correct. Yeah.
And, and that's what this country was built on. People came here because unlimited opportunity, the ability to create your own future, stake your own claim. We've talked about that before in other episodes. No other country on earth is like this country in that regard. People can come here from anywhere and educate themselves and apply themselves. And when I say educate, I don't mean college and all that. I mean, whatever it is you're going to do, you need to know what you're doing. So people have come here in textiles, they've come here making shoes, they've come here, all kinds of different things, and have created, immense wealth, fantastic generational businesses from nothing Walmart, Walmart started with Sam Walton's, grandfather, right? Or dad or whatever, whoever,
grandfather,
Sam himself, I can't remember, between him and Dollar General, might've been Sam that started the whole thing. I mean, I don't think he was, had much of an education.
No.
Dollar General was started by the grandfather of the people that, run it today or ran it recently, Cal Turner Jr.'s grandfather. He had an elementary school education.
Wow.
So you go back and you read those stories, Colonel Sanders, I don't think he was college educated, Harlan Sanders, and, great stories of people that just, applied themselves, got after it, and just made it happen. And especially, like I said, the people that come here from other countries that don't have opportunity or limited opportunity where they are, because opportunity is limited, therefore it stifles innovation. And, people rely on the government or whatever. You come here and you can do whatever you want. So it's pretty incredible. And I think that's a dangerous ground that you're walking on when you try to limit somebody's ability. But again, if you're a public company, maybe there should be some limits.
Yeah. And the other thing I just want to tie in here is a lot of great innovation, a lot of great companies start in recessions, right? It kind of forces entrepreneurship and struggle. For example, Uber and a lot of these companies that we take for granted today were started in the Great Recession. So I look forward to the innovation in new companies and new businesses that come out of this recession. Has that been your experience as well?
Oh yeah. And opportunities, I was thinking about that the other day for this. I was like, man, we should really talk about that, because this is you talk about the Great Reset, this is the opportunity coming now that I've now been through. This will be the third one in my lifetime where you have a chance to get into the bottom of the recovery and really build something. I mean, that's where your best opportunities are, at the bottom of the recession and the bottom of these market declines, where you can really exponentially scale and generate returns that, can be generational, wealth building opportunities. So, these are the times when I've made some of my biggest moves, is at the bottoms and the depths of the recessions.
You know what? We have just found topic video number 3. We will make the Great Reset and getting in at the bottom, the topic for number 3. But before we do, Greg, where can people find you?
Yeah, gregdickerson.com. That is where all my information lives. Go check it out.
Awesome. Thanks, buddy.